All right, let's go ahead and break this down. Maybe even start a couple arguments today, because what are we going to be talking about? A very controversial subject: solar panels. Now, if you're thinking about buying solar panels right here in South Carolina, or anywhere for that matter, this video might actually make you mad. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Solar panels are not just solar panels. They're usually a 20 to 25 year contract. I rarely get solar panels that come with a house and are paid off. And if that sounds like a timeshare, it kind of is. Now listen, I'm not anti-solar because some of it is really great, but what I am anti is bad contracts, confusing financing, anything that messes up a real estate deal. And listen, solar can do all three. So today what we're going to do, we're going to break this down. Why solar looks good on paper, why it can fall apart in real life really quick, and when it actually does make sense. What's up guys, my name's Chad and I'm the local real estate agent right here in Columbia, South Carolina. I have been helping people buy and sell homes all over the Columbia area and all across South Carolina, all across the United States for that matter, when it comes to all the referrals that I send out and helping people pick a great agent at the same time. And if you've been watching this channel very long at all, you already know we keep it real. We don't sugarcoat and we don't let you walk into something that doesn't sound good. And it might even bite you later. Now here's why solar causes arguments. Because the data says one thing, but the real estate transaction says something entirely different a lot of times. About 66% of people say they're interested in solar. And even back in 2016, and 15 and 16, when they really started getting popular, there was data all the way up to around 2020 or so that said homes with solar can actually sell faster and even over asking price. And over 90% of people want it to save money. Sounds amazing, right? Until you actually try to buy and sell one of those homes. That's where things can get interesting. So here's what we're breaking down today: the solar pitch versus reality. South Carolina solar math, and this has changed just in the last year. The contract problems that kill deals, roof and maintenance issues nobody talks about, and when solar actually makes sense. 80% of people literally that are watching and the views that I get do not even subscribe to the channel. If you like this kind of information, please subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell, that way you can be the first to get it every time I put out a video, and I do it like twice a week. Okay, let's talk first, the solar pitch versus the real world. Let's start with why people want solar, and it's simple: lower power bills. That's it. I mean, it's not hard. That's the dream, and I get it. Electric bills go up, people want control. And solar, it sounds like freedom. This is what solar reps pitch to you. But here's where it gets tricky: the way solar is sold and the way solar actually works. They're not always the same thing. You've probably heard many times, listen, it's free. The government pays for it. You'll never have a power bill again. And that is not how this works. Most people do not own their solar panels. There's companies like Sunrun out there that finances these. Even the material points out that confusion and misleading pitches are often very common. And government agencies have already warned about this. The FTC has literally warned about solar scams. The CFPB has warned about hidden fees and misleading loan terms. So what's really happening? A lot of times you're not buying solar, you're financing it, or even worse, you're signing a long-term lease. There are good plans out there, but there are also very bad plans out there with leasing, and it's where they go up and up and up. You think you're not paying much in the beginning, and then you look in year 3, 4, it might even be financing it for 20 years. It's the highest payments then. Now instead of saving money, you just added another monthly payment to your bill. Doesn't matter if it's free or not. Doesn't matter if the government or the electric company's even paying you for solar, because we had a month where we had a ton of sunlight and you actually made electricity. There are still other costs. If you're a solar rep out there, please tell me the most honest way you can explain solar financing to a homeowner, because that's where it goes sideways all the time. They leave out all the expenses later. What if you bust a solar cell? Do you have insurance to cover that? How about your roof? We're going to go over all of this. Okay, check this out. This is number 2. South Carolina solar math just changed. This is the part that nobody tells you when they knock on your door. The math has changed, and it changed in a big way. South Carolina used to be more straightforward with solar. It's a lot more complicated. We have what's called solar choice rates. And here's what that means in plain English. You don't always get a full credit for the energy you send back. Let me say that again. You might sell power back cheaper than you buy it. You get a real sunny day and you have a lot of credit through that solar. If you produce extra power during the day, but you use more at night, you're not winning like you think you are. And that's a problem. In 26, the truth is, here's the one that gets a lot of people upset. It says that there's a 30% federal tax credit that everybody talks about. Now, as of 2026, it's gone for new installs after 25. So, if someone is still pitching you're getting 30% back, you need to ask some questions. South Carolina does offer a tax credit, and it's 25% off of the cost, the system cost, but that's capped at $3,500, and only if you have the tax liability. And also, get this one, only if you own the system, not if you're leasing it. And like I told you in the very beginning, I've only come across one person that actually owned the solar panels. And before he sold it, he still took them off, put them in the basement, and told the other one he could use them if he wanted to. And they were his, but he was not using them because he just had to change the roof and he wasn't getting it reinstalled. If you do have solar panels, let me know. What was your bill before and what is it now? Tell me some of your stories. Have you had to replace your roof since you did it? Had any problems with it? Have you had any solar cells burn out? Are you spending more than what you're pulling in on your power grid? Now in South Carolina, we have a lot of sunny days. So you are and can be getting a lot of power, even to where you sell it back to the electric company sometimes, especially in those big sun months like July and August. Let me know in the comments. I want to know what everybody's thinking on this. All right, now let's talk about this contract problem for number 3. This is where I live, realtor. Buyers do not hate solar. Buyers hate surprises. And solar, it creates a lot of surprises. There are 3 types of solar. There's owned, there's financed, and then there's leased. And none of them are the same thing. The worst one, by far, which comes with a lot of them, is being leased. Because now the house is tied to a contract. The buyer has to qualify for it, and the lender has to approve it. And guess what? Sometimes they don't. Now, real problems that show up, solar panels can actually count towards your DTI, your debt to income. Buyers can get denied. Lenders will not count leased solar as value. And appraisers, they literally ignore it. There may even be a UCC lien attached to the property. What does that mean? The solar company has a legal claim tied to that system. That's not extra value. That's actually extra paperwork. Listen, if you're dealing with FHA buyers, VA buyers, now it gets even tighter because the system cannot block transfer and it can't mess up lien position. And it often cannot be included in that value. So what happens? The deal falls apart. And when does it fall apart? Not in the beginning of it, which this is horrible for the listing agent, the seller. It falls apart late in the deal. Many times people forget to even add the solar panels in there. Now listen, agents, let me know. Here's a good question for you. Which would you rather list a house with? One with a pool or one with solar leases on it? I already know my answer. And I'll tell you now, I don't like pools because I end up doing a lot of the work. But I'll take that over a solar panel any day of the week when it comes to listing them or even buying them on the buyer side. It's very rare you have enough property you can put solar panels on the ground. Where do they always get put? On the roof. Nobody budgets for this part. Nobody does. Solar is not just the panels. It's the relationship with your roof. And roofs do not last forever. So here's the reality. If your roof needs work, panels have to come off. Then the roof has to get fixed. Then the panels have to go back on. And that costs money. Real numbers, removing panels can actually run you anywhere from $1,000 to around $3,500. And if they don't mess the panels up, with the company that does it, and you have to replace the panel too. Therefore, you have to buy another one, yet you're still leasing it at the same time. Add into that weather that gets here while you're doing it. Are there holes in your roof where the panels were? Then they have to repair everything. Then they have to spend another $1,000 to $3,500 to put them back on. Now, that matters because damage does happen here and there. And now you're having to deal with insurance, repairs. You're having to coordinate with the solar company. It's not simple anymore. It gets so much more complicated. Now, the one thing I'd love to hear about, if they are listening on this channel too, is the roofers. Tell me, how many of you have had to deal with solar panels, and what's your solution? Is it easier than what I'm saying, or is it harder than what I'm saying? Which I hope it's easier, and I'm just misunderstanding the data or anything out there. But they cause problems, and a lot of times they can even expose the bad roofs. Let's be fair, and for the last point, when do solar panels actually make sense? Because some solar is not always bad, and there is a version of solar that does work. Now, the only time I like it is when you own the panels. Now, you got to make up a lot of electricity because solar panels are not cheap. I mean, some of them cost anywhere from $40,000 to $60,000. Could be even more. That might be cheaper, but that's what I've heard. So you got to make up a lot of electricity to pay for those solar panels. And by the time you do pay for them, even if you make up for them with the energy that you're saving in your electric bill, some solar panels, the cells may have gone bad in them, and you have to buy another one just for that. It makes it perfect when there's no weird financing. There's no lien issues. The system is newer. The roof is in good condition, and it's newer as well. And you plan to stay at this house long enough for it to matter. The average person stays in a house these days only like 8 years on average. That wouldn't make it worth it right there. I don't even know if you could make up enough money in all the stuff that I've been going over in this. Could you make up that kind of money in 8 years that it matters with your electric bill? So you're not guaranteed full value back. And yes, studies show owned solar panels can add value, but not always dollar for dollar, and not always in every market. So the bottom line, simple solar equals good. Complicated solar, there's a problem. And I have found 9 out of 10 solars are a complicated problem. I have only sold one house that I know of that had solar panels. Now on the listing side, I have done none. On the buyer side, it made sense in their financing program that they were doing with it and what they were saving. And sort of in conclusion, do you own solar? Did it help your resale? Now, if you go on forum sites or Facebook sites with agents, 99 out of 100 agents there are not for solar anymore whatsoever. And the one agent that is, everybody else is accusing him of, well, he must have sold solar before at some point, because there's no way he can say that solar helps out, because most agents do not like it. And most buyers that fell for the whole pitch, the seller of the solar panels didn't tell them everything, didn't tell them all the costs that can occur, didn't tell them how much, when they would make that money. Everything has a profit margin. And many times when you're starting up a business or anything like that, you have to pay off all your business expenses that you started with. Sometimes that can take years. Sometimes it can take 5, 10, 15, 20. How much does it take? How many years does it take in order to make up money that you're saving in electric to pay off those solar panels, or to even pay the money back if you paid them up front? These are all questions you've got to ask with solar. But I am interested in what you guys think. Am I saying it wrong? For goodness sakes, I'm not infallible. Tell me what you think, or if you ran into some of these same problems that I'm talking about and I have dealt with in real estate. But here's the truth. Solar is not the problem. The deal is the problem. If it's simple, clean, owned, and easy to transfer, buyers do like it here and there. But if it's a contract, escalating payments, confusing paperwork, financing issues, roof complications, it stops being an upgrade and it starts being a deal killer. Do solar panels work? Of Question is, should this house be sold with a 25-year contract attached to it? Can I afford it? If I'm adding that to my profit, to my debt to income stuff, same way when you add a HOA, if you buy a condo, they have certain lenders that deal with nothing but condos because they're a little harder because you're dealing with such high HOA fees. And those HOA fees get tied into your payment. Even though you're paying it separately, it gets tied into your payment for what you can qualify for. Solar can work the same way, especially when it's on a contract deal. Even if you're paying it off, financing it and not leasing it, the bank still looks at it and can deny your loan because it has solar panels on it. In my opinion, not worth it majority of the time. So please go ahead, subscribe to my channel, like the video, give me a thumbs up if you think this is great information. Give me a thumbs down if you don't think it is. Or better yet, call me on the phone. Let's get on a Zoom call and let's talk about it. Now, if you're wanting to buy or sell your house, please call me. Jump on a Zoom call. Text me, email me, whatever it might be, whatever works best for you. I love the Zoom calls. I'm face to face. We end up talking for 30 minutes to an hour, and a lot of you guys end up being my best friends. Solar lovers versus solar skeptics. Go ahead. I want the full debate in the comments. Let's hear it.